It's like getting the tones I wanted as a kid, like as loud, like. All right, g'day. I'm entering the highway. I've woken up, 80 missed calls. You know, every voicemail. Rooman, Rucephus, Roo Jr., Roomian, Sam Roomian. What's up, dude? There's a phenomenal guitarist in town. They're all calling me. Someone's busted my door down. What are you doing? Turn down. I can't turn down. All my amps are loud. I have 100 watt amps. I like that. It's my thing. But seriously, I've been struggling to figure out since I got this Bryant. Man, this thing sounds so good, dude. It's so stupid. And everyone knows once you're a kid and you hear that 1968 recording of Jeff Beck group with Rod Stewart playing in Dallas, you know, the one where Jeff's got like, it's like a tone bender, a wah. He's got his Les Paul, the Oxblood one, and then he's playing through a 200 watt Marshall Pig. You just know that you're screwed. That's what you want for life, you know. Marshall Pig or Marshall Major, you give me one of them greasy bastards and I'd play a 200 watt amp all day. But look, I've got this 120 watt amp and I want to record it, but like you've got to crank it and I don't have enough room in the closet to put it and put a cab and isolate it and all that because I don't know much about that stuff and I'm still learning. But people want tracks and I've got to get it done. So I called up, you know, my buddy Justin, and I was reminded of him because I was thinking about the Marshall Pig amp, which I believe is 2 amps in one. Like you plug in, it's got a master volume, or it's like a crossover, but then it's got a bass and a treble knob. But those knobs are actually the bass amp volume and the treble amp volume. And I thought, well, I got to attenuate this thing down. And then Two Notes has released that Reload 2 box, which is like 2 mono amps that it reamps, and then you can plug into your door or into cabs and do wet, dry, wet, and do all this kind of crazy stuff. So I want to explore that. Now, Justin lived in LA for years and years and years. He's out there all the time, but he lives here. And Justin owns part of Two Notes. So he's like really hip to this stuff, and he was the first guy who hit me to like how to get IRs to sound good and stuff like that. So I'm off to Justin's now. The impetus was to catch up and hang, but the cool part was that we can do this. And we're gonna put the Bryant through the good old Reload 2 box, and we're gonna record some audio, and we're gonna see what happens. And I think it's gonna be a good time, and I hope you think it's gonna be a good time, and I think I'm gonna have a good time. So that is the plan right now. They're building something new at the Opry. Don't know what. Guess I'll find out when it's open. That's how stuff works, right? All right, I'll see you in a second when we're inside Justin's. All right, now we are here at Justin's. G'day, mate. What are we doing?
Today, my good friend Cameron's come over because he's bought at an amazing deal this Bryant Deliverance 2 Plus.
Okay, you got the name right, I didn't.
Which is an amazing design, an amazing amp, but it's crushingly loud. But it sounds amazing, but in 2026, it's kind of unusable, which I love loud, but the world doesn't like to be as loud as it used to, and that's a whole problem I can't fix, but I can try to make it better, I think. So basically what we're doing is we're running that amp where it would be literally peeling paint, and the police would have been here an hour ago. We're running it into the Two Notes Reload 2, and then we're actually going stereo out into 2 cabinets. I know the cabinets are a little disjunct in size, but we'll make up the volume difference. So we got a 112 old Avatar cube cabinet with a 150 watt red back. And then over here we have a third power cabinet that has an EVH speaker and a cream back, but we're only using the cream back of that. So the sensitivity of the speakers is quite a bit different, so we have to do some volume makeup to keep them level matched. But the other thing that we're doing is we're also running a little bit of the ST3000 EVH for ping pong delay. And we can also add some micro pitch in there just to give you more of that EVH Steve Lukather 80s kind of sound. So the thing that we're doing is we're taking that amp. Yeah, we're taking the amp and we're just using just a little bit. We're taking the amp, not changing the sound at all. re-amplifying it back to reasonable volumes, and then we have the ability to run mono or stereo or dual mono, which we're running stereo.
All right, I'm gonna hand you this and I'm gonna try it. Ooh, let's see.
Do you want to start out with some?
No, just keep going. All right, so the Old Faithful. This is the one, everyone wants this. You played it, you were like, yeah.
I love that.
It's just good. It worked. I got it right the first time, and now I'm trying to recapture that.
How many pounds is that again?
5. On
Dude,
the
that's
dot.
blowing my mind.
5 on the dot. It's crazy. All right. So I'm just gonna notch these up slowly. So this is a creamback.
Is about 6 or 7, so
Dude,
it's and that's what 120 watt amp.
120, and this feels how it feels at that volume. So, and then this is adding, what is this again? A red back.
Yeah, the cabinet on the right's got a red back, 150 watt red back, and the cabinet on the left we're using just the cream back.
I've never played a red back, so this is cool. All right. Both a little something.
Just for the people that are watching this right now, he's melting my face off, even at that volume. Those are two 240 watt power amps in there.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, so you're peeling paint, which is called my brain. So might turn the left down just a little bit.
All right. Yeah, this is unreal. Like whenever I've run this, because I use that Mesa Thiel cap, so that's a 300 watt.
Yeah.
It's like the Mesa branded EVM, but it's really just EVM. It's the first speaker I ever actually had in an amp, because my first tube amp was a Mesa Mark IV. I found that locally for 1,500 Australian bucks as a 16-year-old. All my fish and chip shop money went to that. That's the old room. This is me now.
Are chips fries?
Yes. Yes. Yes, they are. Fries.
Not fryette, fries.
I'm gonna switch it to the lead channel. I want to see. Okay, this
just because I'm not 20 anymore. You want to turn it down just a smidge on the. No, you can leave the amp where it is.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah.
It's loud.
It's okay. The gain is on like 9.
So what you're doing is you're able to get that power amp push.
Yeah.
And we're just pushing it back at about probably a third of the volume, but it's still loud. In fact, will you turn the left channel down a little more?
Yeah. It's like...
And maybe the right, let's hear what the blend of the right to the left is right now. Oh, that's going to be...
It's like getting the tones I wanted as a kid, like as loud, like...
If you want more chug, you've got a resonance and presence control on there.
Ooh, okay.
So you can control the low end contour and the top end. I would keep the presence down, just FYI, the Reload 2 is flat at 0.
Okay.
So if you want to add a little more push and excursion at lower volumes, is that the, I can't see the knobs.
This is presence and this is...
Okay, turn the presence all the way down,
Uh-huh.
keep it flat, and then just put about 9 o'clock. Just add a little bit of extra thump in there.
Alright, let's try...
I wouldn't recommend that for a band, but
okay.
you know, for home, it's going to give you some more.
The thing is, it still feels... it feels good.
Well,
And
do me a favor. This is how we'll judge a great tube amp. Play dynamically. Turn your volume down really low so we get that full guitar straight into the amp. And that's something else I think is important for people to know is you're plugged straight into the amp. There's nothing going in. There's nothing doing anything weird. So you're getting all the impedance interactivity of the amplifier and your guitar and your fingers and pickups and volume pot all working together.
I've also never used effects loops or anything. So this is still like, I've used them on like digital setups, but I've never like tried it, so this is still weird. But all right, here's the absolute minimum the guitar can have. And it's just like playing clean.
I think that a lot of people haven't experienced what it's like to play a loud tube amplifier where you have a lot of dynamic range just in your guitar because people are used to not driving them into the sweet spot that allows you to do that. So just play real clean because you have a ton of saturation in there, but you're just throttling it back.
It's the same thing I say about plexis. I have one, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so high gain." It's like, no, it's not. It's clean. Mine's very clean up until a point. But here it is, like absolute minimum, right? Nice to play this thing at the point where my wife doesn't want to kill me, my neighbors want. I mean, they've never complained, but like, I guess also
you would be divorced if you did that at your house.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried. She was out once, and I did it, and I noticed one of my neighbors loves playing like EDM. He did turn it up a bit. All right, I'm gonna put on the CVH pedal.
So we're not using the effects loop in the Fryette, we're using the effects loop in the Reload 2, and the effects loop in the Reload 2's got a lot of different things you can do with it. You can run it mono, dual mono, or stereo, and then there's a wet dry mix control if you want to run it parallel. So if you're a tone purist, we're just running it serial like a regular guitar effects loop, but in stereo. But if you are a tone purist and you want to just run your effects 100% wet, and then blend the clean tone of the amp back into that, you can absolutely do that.
Dude, that's like beyond my paper.
It is the most comprehensive effects loop, I think, on any guitar device, but it's easy to use. If you, like, we're just using 3 cables. We're running,
is that it?
We're running 1 SYN cable into the front of the effect, and then 2 returns. So we're just using 3 cables to get full stereo.
massive.
Something I'll add is
I feel like Steve looped for when he discovered this.
Yeah.
This is so good, dude. This is like.
Well, we've removed the loop as a component. I'm not saying the Bryant doesn't have an incredible loop, but all guitar loops, there's a compromise somewhere, and eventually you're going to saturate the power section.
Right.
So what we've done is by running it into the Reload 2, we're completely letting the amp stay as clean and clear as it can. We're not using the effects. There's no weird impedance or any kind of line level issues. We're letting the Reload 2, re-amplify that back clean.
That's doing the work. Okay, so
yes.
now I've put on the H9 as well, and your Rockaway? I think
No. We're just running the H9 and the delay are the only two things in the loop.
Okay, got it. So.
And I don't know how this will translate, but we have micro pitch running now, or I think you just turned it on.
Wait, I want to do. Okay, I'll do the Dan Huff setting. So I think it's position 2, split the bridge, add the neck in parallel.
I don't know if this is going to translate to people at home, but the stereo spread is massive.
I'm going to crank it just for 1 sec. Dude, this is like everything I always wanted, but like only ever got to try with my Aspects and stuff. Because it was always like, how did we meet? I messaged you, I think, no, I don't even know. I think one of us added each other on Facebook and we got together. So this is an example of Nashville. And then we found out very similar interests guitar-wise. And then
what a crazy time to be alive.
Right,
what a crazy town.
6 months since I saw you. Yeah, that's another thing about this town. Literally just made mates.
And nobody would know that I'm Australian either.
Yeah. We all like the same shit, and then we just went, cool, let's get together and crank it. Because I just was complaining that I can't turn this up. But dude, okay, this micro pitch thing, I never got to try this.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was a kid in Indiana in the 80s, and I didn't either because everything was $10 million, and I saw pictures, and I go, well, I guess I'll just get to hear it on the songs.
Yeah. So I'll tap it like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Turn the volumes on the Reload 2 way down.
Okay.
Just so people at home, I know that the stereo may not translate completely, but to see that the tone doesn't change, just the volume. Put just a little more of the right side in.
More?
Right side.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a little more?
Yeah, it sounds, well, the big thing is, it feels the same. And
That's
I'm
it.
always on about feel, but dude, this. Even playing like complex chords at low volumes is always often frustrating unless you're acoustic, because it feels like I'm getting a muddled translation of what the guitar's trying to say. But here, no issues.
I mean, you could play a whole gig just like that, just with your fingers and the knob and the switch. You don't need to touch anything.
Let's try, I'm going to put way less gain on the gain channel. So the gain is actually... The gain is way down compared, like a quarter of what it was. No one checks him. No one, like I was telling you, no one checks him out enough. They know him for his crazy frets. I know the nut thing.
I have a Buzzy Tom Anderson that's got the BFTS on it, and Buzzy is great, amazing ears too.
Dude, his playing though, played Woodstock. Then there's the GIT videos, Full Moon Band, underrated. A lot of errors in that guy. He just built himself a 335 to recreate his Woodstock one. He posted
I think Buzzy's still building guitars too, isn't he? He's on his own brand.
So he just posted on Instagram. He's like, I rebuilt my Woodstock 335 as a 59. It's like that cherry to yellow sunburst kind of thing.
So kids at home, go look up Buzzy Featon.
Yeah,
Feiten. I think it's Featon. I think if he sees this and I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's Buzz Featon. But look up his discography. It's very impressive.
Insane. He's on a bunch of big records too.
And he figured out how to make a guitar playing tune.
One day I'm hoping. Dude, but check this out. So this is, I guess this is like past the edge of breakup. This is like a medium gain. This is probably my favorite way to sit tone-wise.
And to people at home, if it's a little bit bright, my room is big, and the sound is bouncing everywhere. So.
Oh, dude, there it is. That's like.
Mike Stern Schofield on me. I'll buy the volume knob.
Dude, okay. That's I just wanted to show that today because we're gonna go play more and have fun, but this is like the most logical conclusion I've seen to everything I've wanted for the last, because you know I've got the two Marshalls, so I've got the 100 watt and the 50, and I love my 100, but it's like when I turn it on, I'm maybe on 2, and I know some people are weirdly like anti-attenuator or whatever, but like I'm consistently trying to find logical solutions to like simple problems that I'm having, but like
let me ask a question. Does that sound like an attenuator?
No, it just feels like my amp, which is what I'm always on about. Like it needs to feel the exact same, and that's what this does. And I've got 2 XLRs, so I can record at home.
Yeah, so you've got 2 XLRs, so you can run left and right or dual mono or stereo. I know that gets a little confusing and obtuse, but everything. And by the way, I know that it's a product that I represent, but we include our software Genome, which
I've used that.
allows you to run post effects, pre effects, amplifiers, but you can run 2 different cabinets at a time, and you can pan the cabinets left and right and run multiple microphones. Okay. So for anybody at home, just know that it actually is an integrated recording solution. Even though it doesn't have IRs in it, you get to pick what you want.
Dude, also there's a Michael Nielsen video. I dropped my pick.
It happens
all the time. He just did a video on IR, so that was crazy. That dude knows what he's talking about.
Michael, believe it or not, we had a private NAMM booth when the Reload 2 came out, and I used Michael's 71 Plexi and just the H9, and we had all these people from every other booth coming over to see what was going on, because they're like, what is that sound? And it literally was just Mike's amp cranked up, but at like 1 on the output and in stereo, and people were like, what is that sound?
Dude, I'll leave you with this. This thing sounds, I'll leave you with a big chord, but this thing sounds great. The best chord. It's got the sustain of the volume, but not at the face melting volume. Listen to that, it's still going. It's you can go out and get a bite to eat.
I was gonna say that, but you beat me to it.
Come back, still ringing. All right. Thank you for doing this with me, mate.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right. Cheers.
Having me hold the camera.
Peace. All right. Good day. So I woke up today thinking, I'm gonna try this kind of way of taming my 120 watt beast. I didn't expect to play my first ever Soldano SLO 100, which, by the way, I usually hate that much saturation, but once you play one of those in person, it makes total sense. Beast of an amp. Amazing. One of those covered in snakeskin would be cool. And an original Mesa Boogie 2C Plus fully loaded, which is the first tube amp I ever plugged into as a young teenager at my teacher Tom's house. I've never owned a 2C Plus. I've always dreamed of it. I think I'd even take the reissue. I wouldn't care. But like the old ones, there's something special about them. They can do more than people let on. So I might release it as 2 kind of videos. But look, here's the thing. Justin's a good friend of mine, and it was great to just catch up and see him. But it was really cool that, you know, we can hang out as friends. And yeah, he works for 2 Notes or whatever. But the thing is, he's going to be honest with me and about my situation and know how I feel and take my opinion. And we're both the same kind of like ADHD, where we're just like 3 conversation lines going at once. And hell, mid-conversation, hey, story time, branch, then back. And we always remember our place and stuff, which is awesome. So there's a lot of crossing over in the video. But the Reload 2 felt good. And that's the biggest thing. I'm always on about feel. I can tell if an amp or something feels good within 1 note, unless it needs some tweaking, perhaps like a digital product or something you need to work with. But I didn't have to do work. It just felt good. It's the Boston Butt Sale. BBS. Be there or be don't there. Yeah. Look, so the thing is, that just felt really fantastic. And, you know, we cranked it for a second after and then didn't. And I noticed, like, no matter what, it felt the same no matter what volume I was at. And I think that's the most important thing for me, is how does it feel? Because if it doesn't feel good, what's the point? So I think the 2 Notes Reload 2 is a good solution. But this is all to say, like, what is your favorite attenuator and load box? Because there's so many, right? The Ox, Bryant, 2 Notes. I'm sure there's more. The Rock Crusher, the Marshall Power Break, the Iron Man. There's so many, but I don't have much experience in this world. But that to me felt really cool. It was great. I could run stereo. I think the XLR out feature is very handy for someone like me. But I like that although you had to select the impedance in, impedance out didn't matter. Like, I could plug my 8 ohm amp in and then into a 16 ohm cab, and then a 4 ohm cab, and it doesn't matter because what it's doing is it just changes the volume depending on the ohmage. That's like, I don't know how all that stuff works, but technology is just, you know, I think about it sometimes, like as a kid, like when I got a Boss GT8 as my first multi-effects when I was 13, it was like $250. It was like mind-blowing that I have a chorus and a phaser, and like, oh, I have a distortion pedal built in, but it's multiple. Maybe I should get one of those just for fun and do a gig with it. I think that would be a funny gig. If someone wants to lend me an old Boss GT8 multi-effects, I'll gig it. I will go do a whole gig with it into like the Tonex or something. That would be sick, actually. That would be really funny. Actually, and Rod Riley still gigs at the blue one downtown with the Bernardo effects above it. Great tones. But I've also heard him plug straight into like a Roland Blues Cube and get some of the most beautiful tone I've ever heard. It's all here, folks. So look, the Reload 2 was great, but I also just, this is Nashville. Like, Justin and I met over like adding each other on Facebook and messaging, and then we hung out and we were like, oh, there's a lot of crossover and interest. And, you know, we both love a lot of the same players. There's a lot of not crossover. He's more into the 80s thing than I would be, but like, there's a lot of crossover. And so, you know, we also both just love loud, bold amps and cool amps. I mean, he had these beautiful matchlesses. Oh, dude. That DC-30. I want to trade my 65 Deluxe Reverb. It's a real one, pre-CBS, for a matchless DC-30 Samson Arrow. If anyone's interested, I think that would be a good and fair trade. Leave a comment or something, email me, I don't know, message me on Instagram. I got some really nice comments yesterday about my family situation going on, so I'll quickly touch on that. My uncle developed ALS a couple years ago. So unfortunately, this is kind of news we were waiting for. He's in a better place now, and you know, I think towards the end there was not the quality of life that he personally would have wanted to see himself living in. So although it's a tough and difficult discussion, I'm thankful for all the beautiful times I had with him. And I'll tell you a funny story. When I was a little kid, we would visit him, and he had this kind of like a computer room, you know what I mean? Like where he kept his computer and documents and did work and stuff. And he had 2 chairs, and I would sit in one, and we would sit there and play Tomb Raider 2. And he had figured out how to get a trainer, which is like a program that has hack patches in it, you know what I mean? Like unlimited health, or you can fly and whatever. And he would only use it when we got to difficult parts together. But I would always want to turn it on and do all the silly cheats. But as a kid, I named the room Alistair Welch. His name is Alistair. And I found some old photos and stuff, and you know, it was cool. And when I found out he had ALS, they had just released Tomb Raider 2 Remastered for PlayStation, so I would call him and talk to him, and we would talk about that while I was playing and stuff. I know it's silly, but very fond memories. He also was very adamant about when he got coffee from a restaurant about getting a free refill, a Phillips as he called it. And there was one place he goes, oh, I can't go there anymore. They stopped the Phillips. So thank you for all the kind words. I really appreciate that. And, you know, I think it's all to show that, like, I am a human. I'm a guitar player and I do this, but, like, I am just a dude. I live in Nashville and I play and I have fun. I'm thankful that my videos seem to do well. I never expected to get 1,000 views, let alone 1,000 subscribers, let alone 1 comment, but I'm so... sometimes I'm overwhelmingly enamored by the comments and by the support and reach out. I'm not anything special. I don't claim to know it all. I don't think I'm very good, but I am just a working man, and I want to do it. It's kind of an exercise in showing you that, like, this is like the blue collar guitarist's thing. So yeah, but look, I'm really thankful that I live in a town where, you know, I can reach out to someone who works for a company and he goes, well, I'm not going to give you one, but like, come try it out. And it's like, great, if I like it, I will buy it. I am very thankful that some companies have sent me gear, and I recognize the privilege and luck I have in that. But also I do firmly believe in, if I enjoy something and love it, you know, I'll save up and get it. So I am going to save up and get myself one of those, and I really liked it. So I think I eventually would have it set up where it's like an amp switcher going into it, and then, you know, maybe a cab or whatever. But I'll have to kind of question my studio mates, or if anyone knows about studio stuff, how would I plug multiple heads into something that they then go into the reload without, you know, too much of a hassle. I don't know much about amp switches and stuff. In fact, I know nothing about it, I'll be dead honest. But it'd be cool to be able to have like my PV and my Marshall and my Bryant all in the kind of rack that I can just plug in and plug out. Figure all that stuff. So look, I'm about to be home. I've got to go hang out with the wife for a bit, and then I got a double tonight at Aldean's Main, and then Ernest Tubbs. There's a few blokes who watch the channel in town. I'm excited to meet y'all. Met Dave last night, awesome killer. And I'm just really excited to see everyone and see me week. But there's that's an honest reaction and honest playthrough of trying out a Reload 2 and trying out some cool amps. I'll probably post those whole videos, but I'll just post clips for now of the Soldano and the Mesa. Although I grew up saying Mesa, and now it's the Mesa because I'm in America. It's like when I was saying my teacher bought his Mark III from a pawn shop. Everyone's like, pawn or pawn? I'm like, it's the same thing in Australia. Pawn. Pawn Stars. The show with Chumley and all them. I'm not good at watching much TV. I just remember watching one bit about a Magic the Gathering card where he's like, I'll pay 50 grand for this booster pack. Damn. I might have that in like my old World of Warcraft account in gold. I'm very thankful to be paying my bills and living where I live and doing what I do, and I'm very thankful again to everyone. Sometimes, sorry, these videos are long-winded, but I am's who I am's, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go do the thing, and yeah, I'm gonna visit Music City Bridge tomorrow. I'll say that. I wonder what's happening there. Yeah, good old Glazers. There's a bloke standing on the corner looking all kinds of ways. Just casually in the khaki shorts, standing there going, yeah, man, hell yeah. All right, y'all, I'm off. I'm gonna go relax before my gig. Peace.